when you stood at that observation platform, behind you in West Berlin, you had a city that felt normal. Recent model cars, lots of Mercedes-Benzes, it was Germany, people who were well-dressed, neon lights on the storefronts, traffic, people going places on the sidewalks. And when you peered over the wall into East Germany, silence, very little movement. I stood there for 10 minutes and counted 2 cars. I saw only a few knots of pedestrians. The colorlessness, the silence, far more soldiers than pedestrians. As I say, I was 29 when all this started. I climbed down from that observation platform in serious trouble. I couldn't imagine what material I could gather that would enable me to write something for the president that would be equal to that place. There's a memorandum to Colin Powell. The Brandenburg Gate speech is better than before. We had given them we'd made a few concessions, we speechwriters. But the staff is still unanimous that it's a mediocre speech and a missed opportunity. That was 37 years ago. Have I gotten over it? Those sons of bitches. 2 years and 5 months after Ronald Reagan delivered the speech, the Berlin Wall did begin to be torn down. How did Ronald Reagan do it? I'm finally working my way back to how did Ronald Reagan win the Cold War? The first point to make here, I think, is that it was Ronald Reagan who did it. You will see the speechwriter's name up on the top corner. And that's about as much credit as I deserve. Because you have to believe me when I told you, I was in Berlin listening for material he would like. By this point, I'd been in the White House for 5 years. I knew what he sounded like. I knew his positions on the policies. And why is this? This is because Ronald Reagan has been giving speeches and writing for decades before he became president, which leads me to the answer that I would like to offer. Of course, there are many answers to how he did it. His faith, his determination, his simple ability to connect with people. But my answer, the answer I'd like to propose, is something that's often overlooked. And that is, as General Meese will confirm, that Ronald Reagan read widely and wrote constantly. He was never without a book, and he was seldom without a pen. In fact, I visited him, what would this have been? I visited him in 1989, just months after he had left office. I visited him in his post-presidential complex down in Los Angeles. And as I walked in, he looked up and he said, "Oh, well, now that I'm out of office, I have to write my speeches myself." So I would suggest that probably we're closer to 1947 today. We're closer to the beginning than we are to the end. I also have the feeling that we won't have as much time this time around. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us all hop to it. Thank you.